Yeah, welcome to another episode of SitWith. I'm your host, Kirian, and today we're diving into something that a lot of us have had to deal with, or is still dealing with, or might deal with in the future, which is entitlement. But today on the panel, I'm here with Mr. Eno, who is a regular. I'm here with Mr. Ayo and Mr. Babila. How are you, boss?
I'm all right. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me today. And
Yeah, speaking to the mic, boss.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Mr. Ayo,
Yo,
how is the Mbamene Foundation doing today?
so far so good. We thank God. Everything has been okay.
So since the last episode, have you had any support recently?
Spiritually, yes, and materially, yes.
So are you talking to your prophet?
I am my own prophet.
Okay. Mr. Eno,
Yep.
how is the day going?
Oh, it's
AJ, my
good.
brother.
It's great. It's great. It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back.
Yeah, sure.
Nice. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to start with Mr. Eno. Have you ever had a friend or family that expects something from you that you felt was unfair?
Anything my family expects from me is fair. I don't think there's anything unfair about my family expecting me to
Family or
achieve-
friend? Family or friend?
I'm getting to friends.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
saying from family. Whatever my family expects from me, it's fair. If they want me to be the best in the world, then I think that's fair because they want the best for me. And if they expect me to be able to support the family, we are black people. There's what we call the black tax, right? That when you get to achieve something, it's good for the other people of the family to benefit. But as for friends, it depends at the time and also my situation at the particular time. So if I can help some friends at every given time that I can, then fine. But if I cannot, then there's no big deal. Because I've had a lot of friends, and I'm sure I still will have a lot of friends who will be disappointed in me because I won't meet some of their needs or maybe some of their demands. So it's not a big deal for me.
Yeah, Mr. Vincent, what do you think? Have you ever had a friend or a family member who wants more than you can provide as far as entitlement is concerned?
I think just to reiterate what Mr. Eno just said, friends is different. Sometimes you can call some friends as family, but then family, as you know, it's always you have to give back. You know what I mean? It's that culture.
Must you give back? Why must you give back?
I mean, the culture that we come from, you know what I mean? We always like, if you are actually not on
Successful and
top,
stuff.
but like when you're successful and you've actually laid in the way, you can always support and hold someone and, and say, I have to give back.
When it comes to family, it's a whole different thing. My family is entitled to my success because, like they say the African proverb will always say, "Picking on for one man." You understand? Before we became who we are today, uncles, relatives, so many people have also contributed to your growth, knowingly or unknowingly, even by you. So you will always want to always show support. But you see the topics of friends, that's a whole different thing. Unfortunately, I've faced this a lot recently, that I think I am not obliged to help people. And the funniest part about this thing is most people who come for you to help even do not genuinely need help. Most of them, most friends that come for you to help, they come through an exploitative manner. You get, if you are really in need, I know that I can help you, I will help you. If you come from a position where you have people who can help you and you still come for me for help, I will not help you.
Okay, if you come from a privileged family,
not even like privileged family, if you can have help,
if you can help
elsewhere,
yourself,
if you can help yourself and you
then
come
you
to me
to
for
you.
help, I'm not going to help you.
Why is that?
Because there are people who do not have people who can help them. You get, I can help those type of people.
But what if you need your help at that time? Why would you say you would help? If you need your help at that time,
listen. I said exploitative. If you really need help, I see that you need help. By my own instincts, I'm going to help you. Okay. But if you cook up a story and bring it to me, I need help, and the story does not make sense to me, and you come from a position where you can have help elsewhere, I'm not going to help you, man. I will tell you I don't have, because I have people also I'm helping elsewhere who don't have anybody, and they look up to me.
And that goes for friends and family.
No, I'm talking about friends. Okay. Family is always family. Why?
So if you have a family brother, who's not, who doesn't require help, or if you help might not become anything, are you still gonna pour your resources?
Now, when it comes to family, it's no longer help. When it comes to family, it's no longer help. It's an obligation. You get? I am obliged to help my brother. I am obliged to help my siblings if I have the means. No matter how you twist the story, you always stand in that position. There are times when your younger sister or your younger brother will cook up a story and come to you and tell you, we want textbook for this, it's a lie. But you don't have any choice than to just, anyhow, it's your siblings. They're your siblings. Maybe that's the only means at that particular point where you can assist them, or they can take money from you. So you just give them, knowing fully well, even if it's a lie. You get? So it's not. I don't see it as help. I just see it as an obligation. An elderly person, this is something I must do for them.
Mr. Eno, are you obliged to help your junior ones because you're the senior one, or maybe you are the senior one and you're in a better position? What if you're a senior and you're broke?
Well, in most of our African families, the richest person is the most senior in the family. So
definitely,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I wouldn't want to use the word obliged, because obliged makes it look like kind of a job. But I think it's our lifestyle. As blacks, as Africans, it's our lifestyle that if you're
all Africans,
if you're in a privileged position. Well, I'm talking from my experience. From the things I've read about African culture. Everywhere you relate with Zimbabweans, with Ugandans, with Nigerians, with South Africans, all of black origin people. It's our way of life. So it's not just it's not just an obligation, but it's our way of life actually. So it's not like it's a job or it's something that is a burden that you have to carry. It's just part of our lifestyle. It's just part of our life.
All right. Let me ask this, Any one of you can answer. Has there been a time where someone in your family or maybe a friend circle made you feel guilty for saying no to something that they asked?
No, I couldn't give an ass about anything. I don't give a shit. Excuse my language, but I don't give a shit. Let me give a short story, right?
Yes.
When I had a friend back in Cameroon, he started working while I was still in school, while I was in the university. Now, mind you, 4 years in the university, out 3 years hustling. We didn't speak much. Like the 3 years when I left school, we didn't speak at all. Another 2 years where I was bouncing from one place to another, one country to another, that made it 6 years. And then as soon as he saw that I was in a little bit privileged position, the first message he wrote to me on Facebook was his mobile money number. He wrote to me on Facebook and with his mobile money number, and I replied to him.
What do you mean mobile money number?
For me, he asked for money.
Transfer.
Yes. So I replied him and said, even if I have, I will not. There will not that I wrote was in capital letters. When US lottery, when they say you have
capital
not,
letters and bold letters, make it bold.
I wrote, even if I have now, I will not give you. That's you should be mental too. After 6 years, you don't write me nothing.
But you just said you were in a privileged position. Isn't that
he
what
thought
we will
I was?
label
He
it
thought
wickedness?
I was in a privileged position. I wasn't.
But were you in a privileged position?
I wasn't in a privileged position at the time, and even if I was, I wouldn't, because he doesn't need help. He just wants to leech. If you're my friend, you and I are supposed to be at least communicating. Sometimes I comment on your things on Facebook. Sometimes I drop a message, you don't reply, nothing. And after 6 years, you come to send me your mobile money number. So those kind of things, I don't feel guilty about.
That's a very long time, 6 years.
Yeah, I don't feel guilty about it at all. So because if you let those things to eat you up, But if you let those things to bother, they're going to eat you up. Basically, they're going to eat you up. So saying no sometimes is another way of saying yes to someone else.
I was just going to ask the question. Like when we talk about help, like I know we're not obliged to do it, coming from an African culture, right? But then are we looking at the type of help that we can provide to people, or is it just financial help, or
the help coming from you sitting at a privileged position? For example, you are in England now and you have family and friends back home who are looking up to you for certain. Obviously, they'll look up to you for finances.
Yeah, I don't want to push this, to a different level. But what if I'm in a privileged position and then the best help I can give you is prayers?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's also something. If the person who needs help is coming from that direction, you giving prayers is also something nice.
If the person who need help is in Africa, I bet you they will not come to you for prayers.
No, I know. The thing is, someone like Ayo.
We shouldn't
minimize that.
Excuse me.
Shouldn't belittle prayers.
No, not just belittle prayers. I think
belittling,
we shouldn't
I'm telling you
confuse.
the
We shouldn't
facts.
confuse people asking for help because they need it, or people asking for help because they want it. Right? Most people ask for help because they want it. They don't actually need it. Some people actually need it.
Yeah.
Some people just want to
They
get
hook
something
up
from
slowly,
you.
yeah.
I have another experience, right? I have quite an experience. When I started working, still in Cameroon, I had a friend. I was about to come for a weekend to Boya. I was in Douala at the time. I was about to come for a weekend in Boya. So I messaged her. She's just a mutual friend from secondary school, So I was like, hey, I'll be coming to Boya this weekend. Yeah, can I just get you, something? Like just a friend. Like, it's been a while. Bro, she gave me a list. She gave me a list, and I was like
like a dot.
She
Like
gave me-
you're going for
I
marriage.
was like, man, I'm not your boyfriend. I'm just a friend. Like, it's like, why would you give me such a list? Like, F off.
I
we
think
didn't
that's why people confuse, like when you try to provide some, not even help, but like that form of support, and someone can just take it to a different level. Like, I've seen my opportunity. Let me just throw it all at this person, and then we lose that trust. You know what I mean? Then someone next time when you ask for it, when you genuinely need that help.
Yeah.
See, I'll give you the worst one. Yeah, I'll give you the worst one. There was a time I was going to Boya. I called a mutual friend. And I said, that's a school friend. That's someone I knew from secondary school as well, right? From secondary school. I'm talking from 1, from 2, right? And I said, you know what, I'm coming to Boya. Maybe we can hang out and have a beer or something. I will call the other person. Maybe we can have a beer or something. And she said, okay. When I dropped, she called another mutual friend of ours and said, this guy's coming loaded. Let's go and drain him. Now, the mutual friend called me that you're in town and you didn't call me. I'm like, what happened? He said, yeah, this person just called me that you came in loaded and now you want to take, she's
Like they're inside your pocket.
yeah, she's calling me for us to go and drain you. I was like, are you kidding me? She said, yeah, that's how I found out you're in town. I was like, okay. I never spoke to her since.
That's good. It's a way to keep that boundary.
Anyway, let's unpack this a little. Where do you think this entitlement thing comes from? Is it how people were raised, or is it cultural?
It's just a way of life, It's just a way of life, but some people have taken it to an extreme. And some friends just call you, and then you maybe they're like, okay, they cook up stories and I need this, I need that, and okay, because of the friendship and because of our way, and mostly because some of us are guilt tripped into it, because some of us we grew up receiving help from people, right? From uncles, from aunties, from friends of families. They do us favors growing up. Some people can pay our school fees. So we go up with that mentality. It's our African lifestyle. So when a friend asks something, you don't hesitate. And you find out he's using your money to carry girls in the nightclub.
It's
you
an
understand?
abuse
Like,
sometimes, isn't
yeah,
it?
it
Because
is just an
if you
abuse.
look at our parents, like, some of our parents that back then, when one person was actually successful, they're obliged to make sure they have to feed the rest of the family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and there's this analogy that when, you've got that person at the top and they're trying to help the person, the people below, that person below will always pull you down. So how much can you give? How much help can you offer for you to, be aware, like, I don't have enough to give? So that's where we struggle. So it's not an obligation. It's not a must. Sometimes we have to look at ourselves first and make sure, have I got enough before I can give? Sometimes someone might ask you for help and you know you've got that money or you've got that help to give. Now, when you look at yourself, have you got the extra? Because you have to look at your expenses and everything and say, okay, I've got a little bit of change before I can give you that. Don't just say, oh, because I've got, £1,000, that's enough. But what if those bills comes in? You know what I mean? How are you going to support yourself? Because look at it. Most people are so, when you're that kind, you forget yourself and you feel like, as Mr. Eno said, you just give and you probably can forget yourself along the way. But when you need that help, when you've been given that support, when you need that help, how many people come back to it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How many people help you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we need to start looking at who we help.
So what you're saying is you're supposed to be financially strong before you can lend a hand. Because if you fall, nobody's going to come to your aid.
Minus that, Mr. Kia, let me just contribute something, please. There's a popular saying in the street that says, who no show me road, no supposed to know where they. It's very simple. I believe you being familiar with me doesn't mean we are friends. When the moment people understand these things, and I believe they are going to know the limits in our conversations. You get? Because I always tell people I can count the number of people who have helped me from the time I became conscious of facts about life till now. I can count them. I know the type. I know the number of people that are entitled to my success, that even my conscience will judge me if I don't help them. You get? So it's not everything or everybody. The reason why most people feel like we are, especially diasporans, they always bring their problems to people is because they feel like, I know this guy, we are from the same street, we are from the same neighborhood and stuff like that, but we are not friends. You have a list of people coming to your inbox on social media, especially because you don't have your personal contact. That alone will make you understand that there's a problem somewhere.
But the thing is, we're Africans. You don't have to be friends as you would coin it in today's age. Us coming from the same quartier, the same area, automatically we are friends.
No.
Although maybe...
No, we are not. We are not.
No, come on. The people you grow up, well, you're not kind of friends. The people you grow up with, like in our own settings, right? Maybe your Intico is not the same, but in most of the places, but in most of the places,
people will just look at you. They've seen you before. They'll automatically think you are a friend.
I am a human being. I am not a public figure.
That's how you see it. That's how you see it. Now, take yourself. I know. So, sorry, Mr. I'm going to take yourself right now.
Yeah.
No one knows your story. They don't care, like where you've been, what you've got. Right.
Yeah.
Place yourself back home, like where you grew up, and see. Just get that reaction. And see how many people turn up to you. You must help. They don't care. I knew you from... We went one sec. I knew your parents or your elder sister or something like that. They feel like... Because they know you.
No, the thing is, it's not just knowing you. The thing is, from our areas, right? Growing up, we knew we had this communal life.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody gave you a cup of water someday, or somebody helped you cross the road someday. Since as a kid, as a child, people always... Our lives were mixed, kind of intertwined together.
Yeah.
We went to primary schools, both the rich, the poor, and the average. We all went to the same primary schools. So you knew someone who knew someone who knew someone. All right. So it's that kind of a thing. So if you go back to your place of origin, everybody recognize you. Almost everybody recognize you. And you as well, you might recognize almost everyone in that same place. So it's that kind of a lifestyle. That's kind of a communal lifestyle that gives us kind of responsibilities. And I don't think it's a problem. If you can, it's not a problem.
Mr. Ayo made a statement. He said he wants to help those who have helped him in the past. That's what you said, right?
No, not necessarily only those who have helped me. I said, if I'm in a position where I can help and I see that you genuinely need help, whether you are my friend or you are not my friend, in as much as we come from the same area and I see that you need help, or you must not come from the same area as a human. For you, first of all, to identify me as a destiny helper, it means you are aware that I can help you from this situation. And if I see that you genuinely need this help and I have the means to help you, I will help you. You understand?
I think
now
I think you made the statement because you said, like, how you when you growing up, whoever supported you, you have to.
No,
if they need that help.
This is a misconception. We are talking about entitlement.
No, what I wanted to ask
grow
is,
up.
now you are still growing.
Yeah.
You're still heading to a certain destination in your life. What about the people who are there and they will help you in the future, but you haven't met them yet? So if in case they need help in the future, so it means you never lend them a hand?
The people who are going to help me in the future.
In the future, your destiny helpers that you meet in the future.
In the future.
You don't know them from your past. Yes. So would you lend them a hand if they need something, or would you always go back to your past?
I'm not going to go back to my past. The fact that my destiny helpers in the future is in the future. I'm definitely going to meet you one day. You understand? We are definitely there's going to be a link. There's going to be a connection. At least there is something. I'm talking about familiarity. You being familiar to me or with me does not mean we are friends. Familiarity does not mean we are friends. Okay, now I've seen Babila today. If I leave this place, I never see Babila again. I see him after 2 years. I see him. Babila, I've seen you somewhere. You understand? It's different. It's different. I saw him before, but I cannot see Babila today. We don't have any connection, anything. He's just a guest now. They have a guest. He's a guest. I live here. After 2 years again, I see him on Facebook. I'm in the prison or right in Babylon Matter. Send me £50. The certificate.
What took you there in the first place?
Don't worry. If he writes you, send him to Babylon Foundation. Send him to Babylon Foundation. Send him to Babylon Foundation.
Click on this link.
Just click on this link, Babylon Foundation.
Okay. Do you think people sometimes don't even realize they are being entitled, or do they know exactly what they are doing?
Most of us as humans don't realize we are entitled at some point. Like, and some points, I wouldn't exclude myself from that. Some point you say, like, damn, I was entitled, because sometimes, right, like I said, the mentality of the communal life makes us to always feel like we can rely on someone when things go sideways.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're desperate, you always hope in that spirit of the community. You always hope that someone is going to pull through. Right. And at the time, maybe the person is going through his own things. I don't want to use another obscure word, but maybe that person is going through his or her own thing, and you can't understand what the person is going through. If the person says no, you feel like, the person didn't want to, or stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, Mr. Babila.
Yeah.
Do you think being the strong one or the go-to person plays into how much people expect from you?
Oh, that's a big one. I think yes, and I think no. Sometimes yes, in the sense that when the go-to one is if you have been that person who always offer that support, and there's that psychological effect that you feel like you have to do it when you're actually not in a place to do it. Now mentally you have to be able to speak those things out and say, listen, I'm struggling myself now. Sometimes some people feel like,
but you speaking that you're struggling when you're in bush, isn't that disgraceful to you?
No, you can't say that. I can't say it's disgraceful. It's not
disgraceful. No, because most people will say if you are in bush or Europe or America and you are not making enough for yourself, you should come back home.
I think with today's life, a lot of people now, even back home or anywhere else, they've realized now,
with the social, I think with the coming of social media and stuff like that, you understand how it works out there. But I would say though, back in the days, right? Back in the days, without any social media, you could only communicate with somebody through post or email or something. People always gave this everything is okay idea. You will talk to somebody in Europe, like, I'm fine, I'm great.
After 4
months. The only communication you had was communication you had was like, okay, I need this, I need this. You didn't have enough time to actually discommunicate with the person unless when they come back to the country for Christmas or whatever.
So do you think social media is actually portraying the real picture of
social
people
media,
struggling in the Western world?
Yeah, social media is actually portraying the real situation.
Like how many percent do you think?
I think it's like up to like 60-70% because people back home, they actually know now what's happening.
Ayo, do you think that's the truth?
No, I don't actually think. I agree somehow with him, but not totally.
Like how many percent do you think?
Like 20%.
come
Because
on,
come on. I haven't refused the fact that social media has brought a lot of
Light.
enlightenment to the people, especially back home, about the Western world and stuff like that. But the reality is, majority of diasporans
Still don't understand the struggle.
Not even that. Majority of the diasporans using these social media platforms fake it a lot. I see people who go through a lot on daily basis,
but
they are
something
super
else.
fine on social media. You get
They are rich.
Make it till you make it.
They have made it.
It's like the Dubai girls. They're always on yachts, biggest nightclubs.
I know.
But what I'm saying is this, right? Back in the days, people had no idea about the Western world. Like people had no idea about other places apart from their home, right? Not just their home country, but their hometown, right? Someone in Boya had no idea how Ebola was. Someone in Cameroon had no idea how Nigeria was, unless you travel to Nigeria and you hear stories from people. Now, with the coming of movies, you can understand through movies, through music videos, through the news. Before it was only radio, now there's TV, so people can actually get the exact situation of places, right?
But the thing
people can even choose places. People can even choose places to go and not to
Babila,
go.
let me ask you this. You're a Cameroonian, right? If you were seated somewhere in a village in Cameroon and someone comes from bush and tells you every day you are going to the farm, working in the farm, and someone comes from bush looking, smelling nice, and the person tells you that in bush, we are suffering like this. I work in Amazon. I work 12 hours. I work 7 days a week. I'm struggling to even pay my bills. And the person narrates that story to you. Will you believe that person?
I mean, take yourself back when you were back home. If someone actually, you'll be like, I don't believe that person.
Yeah.
Now,
so which goes back to Eno, which means if somebody, most people, it's not that they don't understand the struggle. It's just that they don't want to understand because they think there's a light at the end of the tunnel in the Western world.
Take the same example with today's life. How many people are going through desert? How many people are going through the sea, Mexico, Egypt, wherever they're going.
But those people going, they know what they're going to do.
That's what I'm saying.
They know why. They know the situation, but they are going there.
And this is the exposure.
Before people didn't do anything.
Know. Yeah.
Because you speak to someone once in 4 months. You don't even have, you have maybe a minute to call in the you go to the cyber cafe and call in the phone line. 1,000 francs, 2,000 francs to talk to the person for a minute. Right? You just talk about family things. This person is dead. This person is fine. This person just gave birth. This is going to school this year. We need this and that. Now, you can talk to somebody on daily basis like, man, what's up? I'm going to work. Okay, I'm closing from work. I'm going to work. I'm like, damn, this person is hustling. So but the difference is the hustle pays, right? Maybe where you are, the hustle doesn't pay. So people that are coming now, they know what they are going to do. They know where they are going to and what they are going to do. But before, everybody just thought it was like heaven. People just knew it was like heaven. So they didn't know what was going on. They only knew what they see from you whenever they see you with the nice clothes, the nice perfumes. You bring them some extra clothes, you bring them some cash. That's the only thing they knew. They didn't know about your work. Now you're working, you're calling someone on video call. Like, okay, this is my workplace. This is what I do. This is what I do. So people are leaving home. They are already prepared in their minds what they are coming here to do. So people already have that, that acknowledgement. That's the word.
They have to take that responsibility sometimes, because when you put yourself forward in that and then you come here and you believe like, oh, it's not working for me, you can't blame anyone because as
you already knew.
Yeah, you knew about it. You paid that money to come, because to do that stuff, whatever you apply to do. Yeah.
So, Mr. Ayo, do you think some people feel entitled because you've helped them before, like they see your kindness as a guarantee?
Yes and no. Yeah. Yes, because I always like to speak with practical examples.
Okay.
I have so many people like that. I mean, especially distant friends that will always come back for help because I saw them in a critical situation, and without them even asking me for help, and I just feel like this person really needs my help. And like we earlier said, you're coming in a community where one or two people have helped you, including them. You feel like they also deserve help from you, even without them asking. And you come, you assist them, and everything is okay. They will come second time, they will come third time, they will come fourth time, they will keep coming. You get. Yeah. And no, because it's a very complicated something. Because at one point in time, you feel like these people are coming because you have done it before. And no, also because they have also done something to you in the past. And you feel like no matter how many times they come, you also deserve to help them because you're in the position where you can help them. Imagine you were in their position and they were in your own position. You would have also come to them for help because people have a link or something together. You understand? It's different if somebody, if it's somebody who does not know you from anywhere. When somebody does not know you from anywhere who keeps coming for help, I don't really look at it that much. What I definitely do, what I mostly do at times is if a person writes me for help that I don't know the person from anywhere, I don't even reply. I don't feel guilty because we don't have any link. It does not affect me in any way. But if somebody that I know personally that have done something to me particularly writes me for something that they need my help, I look at it, my conscience will not let me go free. You get? I will always feel like, but boy, you can help this person. I will not feel anything. It will not do you anything. It will not cost you anything. Just help the person. So it's a yes and no, depending on who is coming for the help.
Are you being judgmental?
No, I'm not being judgmental. I'm being factual.
Okay.
So if I go to Mbamene Foundation now, you wouldn't.
No, the Mbamene Foundation is it's for everybody. It's for everybody. I'm talking about people who come in contact with me directly. There are people who know the Mbamene Foundation without know who is behind the Mbamene Foundation.
Yeah.
There are people who know Ayo. They come to Ayo for help. They don't come to Mbamene Foundation.
So if I come to you for help now, you know.
Yeah, Ayo, my brother.
Okay.
Oh my
Anyway, okay, let's talk about setting boundaries. I know it's hard, especially with people you care about. So let me ask this, yeah. What's one boundary you have had to set recently, and how did the person react?
I don't set boundaries. I build walls.
That's a boundary, you know? That's a boundary.
I think it's boundaries. Like, okay, the thing is, my own way is
How
like,
tall is your wall? Like the Trump wall, or
China.
you don't want to allow the
Wall of
Mexicans in?
Oh, the word of
no, I built the Benin wall. My wall is kind of like the Benin wall.
That's the worst type of boundary.
Jericho.
That's the worst type of boundary. A boundary can be,
not the
you know,
wall of
when you
Jericho.
sell a land,
The thing is,
you can put a pillar, and that's a boundary. But if you're building a
The
wall,
wall,
that's the
that's-
worst type of
Yeah.
boundary.
that was a joke. That was a joke, though, anyway. That was a joke.
Yeah,
But the thing is, you can let people know that this thing, it's not, you can't tolerate this and you can't tolerate this. And I believe in speaking to people, right? You let them know what they did and why it infuriates you. Okay, and you let them know, because of this, I'm not doing this. So the person knows that you don't just you're not just denying their request or whatever, but you're giving them reasons, you know, that because of this reason, and this reason, at this time, I'm not doing it. So do you understand? Maybe another time, but at this moment. So people understand the kind of person you are, and they're going to know how to deal with you.
And hence, you remember when I said like that you have to communicate that to people
Exactly, the
because
communication.
before, if you look at it, people will keep coming back to you if they know you haven't set that boundary. They will keep coming back to you if they know you've been given, and they're always expecting. They say when you keep giving a child something the first time, second time, third time, they don't even need to ask or where it's coming from. They'll just keep coming for it regardless.
Exactly.
So you have to communicate that back to people and say, listen, this is, as you said, as you said before, like you need to start making them understand, like, I am struggling now. I don't think I can give you this, the support at the moment, but you have to ask those questions, because if you keep giving, you don't actually know. Sometimes we give and we don't even know where that's going to. You know what I mean? You have to now, like, what am I sowing to? You know what I mean? I need something that's positive. If it's not positive for your, for your life, I can't. You need to let people understand that.
So let's measure something. Let's go with blood, right? Let's keep friends aside. When it comes to like family, how far can you go when it comes to helping someone?
I think you can go as far as, if there's sickness and death and stuff, that's how much
Can
you
you
give for
like
family.
give a kidney and things like that?
That's family, that's love, that's blood. We
Everyone don't feel the same about family like you do. So
but-
maybe Ayos
but-
has something else too.
Yeah,
Ayo has
definitely.
a more of a street
I
family.
know, Dan.
It's 10 years.
That's where the difference comes
He's
in.
going to wait 10 years to give you a liver. He's going to study you for 10
I
years
know.
to give you a liver.
That's where the difference comes in. Like, how much trust do you have for people?
Yeah.
Not just people outside in the family.
And the connection you have with
Yeah.
the people. I think everyone in my family is not just my direct family though, but my extended family, because I have a very, very big family. So I think every member of my family, I can give a kidney for every member of my family.
But do you think vice versa would they give to you?
I don't believe so, but I think if I can, I will give a kidney or a lung or
Ayo
a liver.
looks very disappointed.
No,
Ayo, what's going on?
He has to study you for 10 years before he gives you the kidney.
I
Before
tell
he
you,
gives the
that's
kidney.
some big trust issue there,
No, not necessarily trust issues, Like Kian earlier said, they say in Pidgin, I grown up. I grown up means I did not grow more in the house. I grew more outside.
So you're a street rat.
No, listen.
What do you mean
that's
you
what
grew
it
up
means.
outside?
That's what it means.
What does grow up outside and grow up than inside?
But that's what it means.
No.
Growing up, you're a street rat.
But don't move away from it. Don't move away. We'll come back to that.
Now, we'll come back to that. Now, there's this popular saying that says, inside committee day.
Yeah, you're right.
True.
Okay.
You see, I always tell people, I don't have brother, I don't have sister, I recognize blood. You get? Meaning, even in the family, there are people you can go extra miles for them without them even taking a step for you. There are so many of them like that. We all come from families, especially when you are an African child who comes from an extended family. The love is never the same like when you come from a single family, same parents. You get, there is this always comparison. Bro, I have a very bad experience about family love and stuff like this, because most of the times what I realize is there's a lot of hypocrisy around family. You get, it's a lot of hypocrisy. People always tend to love you when they see you. You won't believe the things I have discovered from families about me, people saying things about me that I never believed, and people that would have gone extra miles for them. When I mean extra mile, I mean people that I can put a bullet on somebody's head because of them. You get. No, I'm telling you the truth. Telling you the truth.
So
this
I'm
is
sitting close to
because come on, man.
It's just an analogy.
Come on.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure, because I don't want to testify against you in
That's
court.
hyperbole. I'm just exaggerating. But this is just to tell you there's a length before you go a certain level for people, make sure they also measure that same level for you. I'm not sacrificing my life for anybody who cannot sacrifice theirs for me. It's that simple. And my family is not blood. My family is more of I say, I get my men there,
Okay.
So you get us today.
Let me just throw this out there. How do you balance helping people versus protecting your peace?
I think that's a very important question, and that's what I've been trying to merge recently, because I realized that I have helped so many people to my own detriment. And at one point, I'll be like, "Hey, yo, this is not more being philanthropic. This is being foolish." You get? So, I think balancing the two is something very important, especially when you're in a position where everybody looks up to you, because you have a lot to handle. And Babila earlier said here that you are in a position where you can help, People always come to you for help, and you're in a position where you are help. If you are not careful, you
exhaust yourself.
forget about your own self. You get, and it is when he said that I felt it. So the thing hit me very badly because it's something I've been doing recently. So I'm trying now. What I do is my yes is yes and my no is no. No matter how difficult your case is, my yes is yes, my no is no.
If you can indulge me though, helping people shouldn't disturb your peace. Does it? It doesn't disturb your peace. If you're helping people, it shouldn't disturb your peace.
It should make you more peaceful.
I think
There's a certain help that you render to some people that you have to go extra mile to disturbing your peace.
To me, right? There's this pride that people want to have. Some of us Africans, that people, when they are in privileged positions, right? They derive a certain pride in helping people to have the good name, and to have maybe superiority complex or things like that over those people, right? When you're doing that,
boast about it among friends.
Yeah, and then if you get to a point where you can't do it, it's going to stress you, right? And sometimes you're going to carry more than what you can. Actually, you're going to bite more than you can chew.
That sense of belonging.
Yeah. So if you're helping people in a way that doesn't affect you, it's like, okay, this person has to go to school. It's like, okay, I can provide this part of your schooling, maybe not even all. Just say, you know what, this is what I can afford for you, and you do it. It's not going to bother you because you're coming. Like you were saying, proper communication is going to take a lot of burden off your shoulders, because if you communicate well to people, then they know what they expect from you, so it's not going to bother you. Right? If you tell someone, listen, if you have an uncle in the village, you say, listen, uncle, I'm not going to be sending you money, or I'm not going to be sending your children to school, but I can help start up a business for you, which you can grow the business and be able to take care of your family and send your kids to school. You communicate, he understands that. So they don't expect anything from you. You understand? You say, okay, you know what? I'm going to struggle and get you out of the country. Maybe you go to this country and start up your own life, and then you can take it. So he knows that's what you're going to do for him. I'm like, okay, if you're going to the university, this is what I can budget for you annually. Okay, so he knows you're giving him this X amount, this Y amount of money. That's it. You give it to him, that's it. You're fine. He doesn't bother you till the next year. So it's easy. You just communicate with people. But some people like to hear, oh, I need this, I'll see what I can do. I need this, I'll see what I can do. Then it begins to eat you up because you can't meet up all those engagements.
To take that pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, you start to be under pressure. So you communicate properly with people, and it eases the burden.
You have to learn to be self-disciplined. Being self-disciplined will save you from a lot of things. Being self-disciplined means you can also tell somebody, I don't have, and you stick to it. Nobody is going to bring you any lawsuit because you said you don't have help to give somebody. No, it's very simple. Stick to your word. I don't have. Because honestly, if you had, you never have any reason in the first place to tell that person no, if the person genuinely needs help. So there's no reason for you to put yourself in a position where you'll be position of discomfort. Yeah, because you want to please people. Learn to say yes and stay to your yes. Learn to say no and stick to your no. It's very simple. And these days I've learned not to explain myself to people. No, to be honest, I've learned that is something I was doing a lot. People usually come to me for help, and I'll be like, bro, I have 5K, but you see this 5K, I want to give 2K to my sister, I want to give 1K to this person, I don't really have anything I can give you. But now I saw that it's causing more harm to people, because you feel like people are privileged, you are privileging other people to me. So now when you ask me something and I say I have a project, I just be like, sorry bro, I cannot help you, I really wish I could. It ends there.
I think that's where you have to, when we talked about before, is that boundary, isn't it? Like you have to set that boundary, because that comes down to self-esteem and, pleasing as well, because you sometimes feel like, I feel guilty, or I have that sort of guilt in mindset, or that guilty conscience, like I need to help. But then are you in yourself ready to embark on that journey, because it will be detrimental to you.
Kale
You need to
wale.
build that up.
Kale wale. If you no fit talk no,
No.
for person, continue to talk yes. High blood go catch you. That will
That's
bury you.
it. That's it.
If you cannot say no, keep saying yes. High blood catch you.
That's the problem.
You die. Will bury you.
So
Can't chop
until
Tony
you've
Plantain
been
for
in
your die
that
house.
position, you no go ever hurt, until you don't hurt yourself. Wait, don't try for you no go ever. That's why already someone this analogy of being in my shoes, then you know where it hurts.
Yeah.
That's where you know how to build yourself. Until you've been there, then probably you can't even say.
All right.
Yeah.
We've come to the end of this episode. I want to thank everybody for watching.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure once more to get you some content. Please like and follow us on all platforms on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. The handle is the same, SitWith Podcast. Thanks for your support. Ciao.
All right.